announced earlier, Pete Howard joins us. Peter, how are you, my friend?
Hi, Greg.
Nice
Good,
to see
thank you.
Yeah, and you dressed for the occasion and everything.
Yes, I did. I'm ready to go.
Professional Ski Instructors of America, American Association of Snowboard Instructors as well. He is representing here this morning. Thanks for being with us, Pete.
And Sugarloaf, of course.
And Sugarloaf, of course.
Ski and Snowboard School.
And you're representing the Mountain Masters today, right?
Well, yeah, that's a program that runs all winter, and actually
Wrapping
this
it
is
up.
the conclusion of the program
Grand
this
finale.
weekend. Yeah, but I'm really here to talk about soft snow skiing.
And you know what? I teased everyone about that. We want some tips from the master here.
Well, I guess I'd start by saying, you know, that, I mean, most people know this, but it's really not about sitting back, right? But there is a stance that works well in powder, and if you happen to be in your living room and you pick your feet up, what that does is it fires a set of muscles on the front of your legs, and it'll move your lower leg towards your foot. And if you were in a ski boot, it will put the front of your leg against the tongue of your ski boot. But at the same time, it'll kind of ground your heels. And so that's the, you know, sort of sporty snow stance.
The remedy instead of leaning back.
Yeah, instead of leaning back. So you're sort of doing two things at once. You have contact with the cuff of the boot so you can put direction into the front of the ski, but you also have your heels kind of grounded so when you hit piles and so forth, you don't go over the handlebars. And, you know, one of the things that's interesting and a little bit different about soft snow skiing is you really have to carry tension in your ankle joint so your ankles don't sort of open up and then close and open up and close. You have to keep tension there so that, you know, you're not all over the place over the length of the ski. And that goes for your waist as well, because, you know, when you hit piles of stuff, you don't want to be like that little drinking bird in the doctor's office and go like that, right? So you have tension in your middle and tension in your ankle joints. And then you need to be sort of flexible in other places. So skiing is a really interesting sport that way, that we distribute tension and relaxation in different parts of our body. Mm-hmm. So when we're in this soft snow that's kind of pulling our feet around and trying to separate ourselves, that's when we have to carry this tension. And you know, a lot of people get tired when they ski this, and sometimes they're tired because they're too far back, and if their equipment disappeared, they'd fall on their bum. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's because, actually most of the time, if you're you know, an advanced zone skier, we get tired in this because that tension that's required to stay in the middle of your feet causes your muscle groups, your opposing muscle groups, to fire against each other to hold you in a place. And the University of Utah has done studies on high-end athletes skiing, and they call it quasi-static muscle firing. So you fire your quads against your hamstrings, you fire your abductors against, your abdominal muscles against the muscles in the back of your spine. All that's happening to kind of hold yourself where you're not going to get all pulled apart by the, you know, the friction of the snow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard it explained like that. It's some great information. And the muscles, of course, you need to stay hydrated as well, of course, when you're doing that kind of. Yeah. Interesting,
Yeah.
like if you're riding a horse or whatever, you use muscles that you normally don't.
Right, yeah.
Kind of opposing.
Now, there's a lot going on because it's like your skis or your feet are captains of a couple boats, and the ocean gets kind of rough.
I see that,
And
what
if-
you did there. It's a sailing reference. Stay with us, Pete. Pete Howard's with us, and we're talking skiing. We're going to talk more about Perfect Turn and his role over there, and others. We'll be right back.